All right, guys, thanks for coming back to part two. Sorry that there's two parts here, just the way the screen recording system, I guess, kind of works out. So we're going to go ahead and get started with problems 2 and 3. Well, I'm going to do 2, and I'm going to ask you guys to do 3 on your own, and we'll check 3 next week when we get back to class. So for number 2, you're looking at this irregular shaped prism right here. So we're going to start by identifying the length, width, and height of the large box, and then the length, width, and height of the small box, calculating those two volumes and then adding them together. So if you look at the big box, the length of my big box, let me change my, I already changed my color. The length of my big box right here is 6 meters. So I'm going to write down 6 meters. Okay. The width of my small box, how wide it is 2 meters. Okay. And then this is where the height comes in. If I look over here, I'm going to notice that the height of the two boxes together is 4. I don't know if this top one is 1 and the bottom one is 3, vice versa. But I look over here and I notice that right here, I know that this is just 2. So if this is just 2, both of them together is 4. That means that this top one right here is also 2, because 2 and 2 together will give us 4. Okay, so the height of this box is 2 meters. All right, then looking at our small, well, let's calculate the volume of that. So I have 6 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 6 times 4 is going to get me 24. So the volume of my large box is 24 meters squared. Okay. Now if I look at my small box, okay, the length of my small box, it doesn't directly tell me. But if I look at this, is what I'm looking for right here. I know that the whole bottom of my large was 6. And the difference between this top one and my bottom one is 4. So if I know that this is 4 plus whatever this is going to get me 6, that tells me my length right there is 2. Because if I were to add 2 to 4, I'm going to get 6, which is that bottom one. Okay, so that's 2 meters. My width is the same, which is also 2 meters. And then my height I've already calculated because I knew that this over here was 2. The two boxes together were 4 tall, while 2 plus 2 is going to get me 4. So I have 2 meters. So my volume for that is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is going to get me 8. So this top one is 8 meters squared. And if I were to add 24 and 8 together, I'm going to get an overall volume of 32 meters squared for the volume of this irregular shaped prism. Okay. I told you guys that I was going to, let me erase some of this so I can have some more room down here. I told you guys I was going to have you do number 3 on your own, but you already have some on your own that you need to do anyways. You have the worksheet that's attached to these math notes, so I'll go ahead and do number 3 with you guys to give you some more practice, because these require a lot of thinking. These are not easy. So looking at my large box here, the length of this large box is 10. I do have that information. It's 10 inches. The width of my large box is 3 inches. And the height of my large box is 6 inches. Okay. So if I do 10 times 3 times 6, I know 3 times 6 is 18. And 10 times 18, I'm going to get 180. Okay. So the large box has a volume of 180 inches cubed. All right. Looking at the small box now, the length of my small box up here, it's telling me it's 8. Okay. So I'm going to say the length is 8, even if it was right here. Okay. It doesn't matter because that's how long the box is. It's 8 inches. Okay. The width is exactly the same as this width because it's not shorter on top and it's not longer on top. So I know that it's the same as this width, which is going to get me 3 inches. Okay. And then my height, I've got to do some thinking around to get my height. So my height right here overall is 12 of the 2 boxes together. But I know that this bottom big box is 6. So 6 plus what's going to get me 12? Well, 6 plus 6 is going to get me 12. So that tells me that my bottom is also 6. Or my height of my small box is 6. Sorry, I don't know why I said bottom. So now I've got to multiply that out. So I have 8 times 3 times 6. Well, let's do 8 times 3 is going to get me 24 times 6. I don't know what 24 times 6 is off the top of my head. So I'm going to come over here and do that turtle head method. 24 times 6. Okay. 6 times 4 is 24. So 4 carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 2 is going to get me 18. I'm sorry, 12 plus 2 is going to get me 14, not 18. Don't know where I thought of that. So this volume of my small box is 144 inches cubed. Now I've got to add up my 2 volumes together. So my 2 volumes are going to be 180 plus 144. If I add those up, I'm going to get 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry the 1. My final volume is 324 inches cubed. That is the volume of this irregular shaped prism. All right. I want you guys to try that worksheet on your own. We'll be going over that next week in class. If you have any questions, feel free to message me.